YNW Melly has been sitting within lockup now for the last few years. With his court trial finally starting on March 7th, here's footage of YNW Melly behind bars and how he has dealt with his court case. Let's get straight into it. Now, YNW Melly's first appearance to the public while behind bars was very heartwarming. These photos of YNW Melly were released after the interview he did with DJ Academics while behind bars. YNW Melly looks like he was in very good spirits, flexing his diamond grills while on the jail phone. In the interview with DJ Academics, YNW Melly stated the following. Spoke with YNW Melly today on the phone. He confidently told me I'm coming home in 2021. And not only that, but Academics also said he sang 3 of the songs that he wrote while in jail, and said he even made a whole album in there. He can't wait for everyone to hear. He said most of his fan favorite songs he made while in jail, so he's used to it. Now, this was the first interview that YNW Melly did while behind bars, and sadly, he obviously was not released from jail in 2021, and there was a major reason for it, with some very severe evidence being found, which leads us into his next appearance. YNW Melly's second appearance to the public was in these photos taken to the courtroom. YNW Melly is seen with YNW Bortland, the man he was originally arrested with. YNW Melly is seen with Bortland sitting in the chairs awaiting to see a judge. YNW Melly looks very confident in this court case. During this court hearing, YNW Melly and his lawyer were gonna be asking for bond until his trial begins. YNW Bortland did the exact same thing as well. YNW Melly was then denied bond. Meanwhile, YNW Bortland was granted bond. This was for a major reason and a huge part of the court case, as YNW Melly had evidence on his own cell phone of him admitting to doing the act towards YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser. Now, during that court hearing, the law enforcement ended up sharing evidence of YNW Melly. He allegedly had a video recording on his cell phone of him having a camera pointed towards him and him admitting to doing the act towards Juvie and Sack Chaser. Law enforcement said, and I quote, "Then also we have a video of Mr. Demons admitting to doing an act towards 2 individuals in the head." Now, I had to change a few words in that statement, but you most likely understand at what I'm trying to say. He also allegedly did a hand motion in the video with pointing something at his head. YNW Melly would then sit within jail with nobody really talking about him for the next few months. This leads us into some of the most important footage of YNW Melly while in jail. YNW Melly released his newest album. While doing the promotion run, YNW Melly actually gotten himself into a lot of trouble within jail. Melly ended up releasing this photo of him wearing a Gucci headband alongside Gucci shoes in jail. He added a caption to this photo saying, and I quote, "To all my fans, I love y'all, and I truly appreciate y'all. The Broward County Main Jail Lieutenant has confiscated my Gucci shoes and my Gucci sock/headband due to the promotional run I posted for my album in Just a Matter of Slime last Friday. And they have taken my video visitation privileges for 90 days. So I can't interact with my family and fans through video visit. But the risk was worth it. We went number 1. They can take my shoes, socks, and visit, but they can't take that number 1 away. I did it for y'all." Now, this was actually the last footage of YNW Melly until his trial begins for the actions that he did. And with YNW Melly's trial now starting on March 7th officially, YNW Melly and his lawyers have been creating a way to get YNW Melly officially released. Now, prosecutors believe they have gathered enough evidence for the trial to start after a long 2 years. In the latest court hearing, prosecutors requested the Broward County judge to force YNW Melly to provide his DNA in order to help solve the case. They also asked for all of YNW Melly's body measurements as well, meaning the length of his arms, legs, and his body weight, so they can recreate a model of YNW Melly's body so they can recreate the scene on what they believe happened. YNW Melly and his lawyers agreed to the prosecutor's terms. In return, they would like to have a speedy trial. This means that the court date March 7th will not be able to be pushed back or delayed for any period of time. YNW Melly and his lawyers know it's taken law enforcement years to find any sort of evidence on the rapper, and who's to say they don't even try to delay it further when the trial is about to start. If the speedy trial is accepted and it comes to the trial date and prosecutors are not ready, YNW Melly will then be released from jail forever with his court case dropped due to the Florida law, which is huge news for YNW Melly. All of the evidence they currently have on Melly goes as followed. In this photo, you can see where everyone was sitting inside of the Jeep when the so-called drive-by happened. Now this explains why prosecutors want YNW Melly's body measurements due to him sitting in the back seat on the driver's side. YNW Juvie and YNW Sack Chaser, which are the two that sadly passed, are the two men sitting on the right side of the vehicle. Then these documents were also released to the courtroom. Then also we have a video of Mr. Demons admitting to doing an act towards two individuals in the head. Next one states, "This video was on Mr. Demon's cell phone, which was brought to my office by Jameson Francis, and that is how we had that, and that is all of the evidence that your honor has." Next one states, "These particular cell phones, which were both iPhone 10s, were on the T-Mobile network. T-Mobile has a very interesting feature where it will tell you the environment the cell phone is in. So from these cell phone records, I can tell you the exact moment Demons got out of the car and staged the drive-by location." Now also in the vehicle, where YNW Melly allegedly did the act towards Juvie and Sack Chaser, a very important piece of evidence was left in the car. Now this evidence is a yellow jacket. This yellow jacket was analyzed by the Broward Sheriff's Office's crime lab, and a report was then issued in court. Now dated on September 2nd in 2021, the report indicates that Anthony Williams, aka YNW Sack Chaser's DNA, was part of the sample, and that there are 3 potential contributors. The contributor profiles are not eligible to be entered yet. The prosecutors want to prove that YNW Melly is guilty in this case by using a DNA test, which in the court of law is very hard evidence to beat. But what I don't understand about that is, sure, YNW Melly's DNA might be on that yellow jacket, due to the jacket being in the vehicle when it happened, but YNW Melly has already admitted in court that he was in the vehicle when it occurred. So it wouldn't be too surprising if YNW Melly's DNA was on it. There must be a lot more to this that we just don't understand yet, and if you have heard anything, let us know down below in the comments. Anyways, it's been District Trending, and I'm out. Peace.